Okay, we're up to Perkei Mishnah Beis. Should be the article, also should be the same listing, I think. Perkei Mishnah Beis. Ben Azai says, "How he wrote the mitzvah kala kibachamura." A person should run to do a light mitzvah as he runs to do a more chamer mitzvah. Ubarech min aveira, and the person should run away from aveiros. Should mitzvah gereres mitzvah, aveira gereres aveira. Mitzvah, one mitzvah causes one to do another mitzvah, and doing an aveira causes one to do another aveira. Sheschar mitzvah mitzvah, v'schar aveira aveira. The schar, the reward of a mitzvah, is a mitzvah, that one gets the opportunity to do another mitzvah. And the word for an aveira, quote unquote, the word for an aveira is another aveira. So, what does that mean? In other words, a schar mitzvah for kibbutz aveim, tzirichas yamim, shulach hakan, you give a reward in the world to come. In this world, what's schar mitzvah mitzvah? The Mishnah telling us that the entire schar we get for a mitzvah is just another mitzvah. So the Rabbeinu Yonah explains like this. He says, we already had a Mishnah in Perkei, going back to the beginning of our Mishnah, that says a person should do all mitzvahs. If he should not do a matan schar and shal mitzvahs, so the person doesn't really know which mitzvah he's going to get schar for. So it could be a certain mitzvah you think is not so chashuv. Let's say Hashavas Aveda versus Shmir Shabbos. So of course Shmir Shabbos is more chashuv. Says the Mishnah, no, you should invest in all mitzvahs because the Ma'aseh one does not know the matan schar and shal mitzvahs. Zakter ben Yonah va'ata ben Azeh hoisiv tam acher. He's adding another reason. Havi runs the mitzvah kala u'barech min aveira. You should run to an easy mitzvah and run away from that aveira. Why? He has a very interesting psychological observation. Listen to this. She mitzvah gereres mitzvah mikoyach hateva ki hu zeh. He says a mitzvah causes one to do another mitzvah mikoyach hateva. It's not like a schoolistic thing. It's not like Hashem's direct divine intervention. It's that it's a psychological mitzias reality in a person. If he does one mitzvah, he's going to want to do another mitzvah. Ki ba'asoysa oda mitzvah ktana pam achas u'miskar bel Hashem u'margel azrucha l'avodaso. When a person does a mitzvah once, that brings him close to Hashem, and he creates a regilus in himself that he wants to do more mitzvahs. The nikla be'ein of la'asos mitzvah acheres, it becomes easier to do another mitzvah. Sheish b'tareach neged harishona. It's like Rav Nekulas Adachira, that a person has to know where he's holding and what's within his reach. So if you start with an easy mitzvah, you do that. The next time one has any sign whether he should or shouldn't do a mitzvah, and it's a harder mitzvah to do, but he's already accustomed to doing a level 1 mitzvah, lower level, as far as tirk is concerned, mitzvah, he'll be able to do the next level more easily. So a person shouldn't think, it's not an important mitzvah, I won't do it, I'll do a different mitzvah. No, you should have to start with the smaller mitzvahs, like they tell Bali Tshuva, you can't go to 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, you have to go slowly. So even with us, the same thing. You have an easy mitzvah, chapara, and do that mitzvah. That'll create a regilus, a teva in us. Then when there's a harder mitzvah, we can also do the harder mitzvah. Chiyasa shniya v'shlishi af kitiya olav tareach harbe. Even if the next mitzvahs are a bigger tircha min harishonis, yasen meheira kikfor hergel shalit olav. His nature is already in control of him, and it's easier to do the other mitzvah. And the same thing goes all the way around with aveiros. A person, we don't have a teva to run to do certain aveiros. Certain people who do aveiros, that it's not part of a person's nature to do. It's not in the teva. And they desire. People can desire crazy things. How does that work? So it's Rabbeinu Yonah in Perkei Avos that explains it. It says that whatever a person does, and he does it again and again and again, he can create a teva for that. That can be used for good, for mitzvahs, and can be used l'rak, used for bad, to do aveiros. So a person thinks one word of Lashon Hara is an isolated aveiros. I can do that, and then I was actually talking to someone. Unfortunately, some people have here a Yetzer Hara for gambling. We have a Hard Rock right next door, right? So this person was telling me that he was never addicted to gambling, never addicted to it, but he saw that when he was playing, he mamish got into it, like became like his life. He wouldn't go out of his way, he wouldn't fly down here to go to the casino, but when he was there, he got too into it. So he made a deal with himself, said, I'm not gambling anymore. But then he was telling me that his friends are around, and if he goes with his friends, is he breaking his Kabbalah? He wouldn't go on his own. But his chevra is here, so he wants to go with them, and he'll take $200, that's it. He'll have nothing else on him, and he'll play some games over there. Is that break? That's an easy, okay, that's not, he's not traveling there, he's not coming with his credit card, right? But again, if he does that, it's going to become easier next time to do a more serious oifen of gambling. So my advice to him, I'm not sure if he did it, my advice to him was, you shouldn't, once you made the Kabbalah, it's chashav zat, you made the Kabbalah, he's not going to go, so you shouldn't do that. But that's the yisod over here. You might think to yourself, it's a small aveira, relatively speaking. It's a small thing. What's the big deal? The person has to see it in the big picture. The person has to realize that small aveira will make the next aveira, it's a little bit bigger, easier, but the converse is true too. When it comes to mitzvahs, you do a small mitzvah, that makes a harder mitzvah more easily attainable as well. And that's how he explains schar mitzvah. Obviously, the schar, the reward for a mitzvah, is not just another mitzvah. It's whatever the Torah is going to promise us in the world to come in this world. But by doing a mitzvah, I'm going to make the next mitzvah more easily attainable. So I'm going to get the schar for that mitzvah kind of now. By doing this small mitzvah, the schar of that it'll be easier for me to accrue more schar in the future when I do subsequent mitzvahs. That's how Yonah explains schar mitzvah. Let's see Mishnah Gimel. Ben Azai would say, "Alti baz l'chol adam." A very chashuv yisod. A person should never like knock someone else off. It shouldn't be buzz. Shouldn't make fun of someone else. Say this person's not chashuv. There's always that guy that the nebuch that in shul, whatever it is, and like you make fun of him and you'll have a good time at his expense. Besides the aveira, the aspect of it, the Mishnah is telling us, Ben Azai is telling us, "Alti baz l'chol adam, v'alti maflig l'chol davar." Don't mach anything of that. She'en l'cha adam she'en lo shah, ein l'cha davar she'en lo makom. Right, it's just good advice that there's no person that doesn't have a time where he's able to be, he has some power and he can affect someone else. And there's no thing that doesn't have its place. Don't be mavaza anyone, don't denigrate anyone, even a person you view is of no harm to you. And don't say, what are the chances that some hezek, some damage is going to come to me? Every person at one point in their life can do something, and it's not a good idea. This Mishnah seems to be advice. It's good advice. Don't think that this person can never affect me negatively. You never know. Let's just do the first line of Mishnah Dal, and we'll hold. Rabbi Leviotis ish yavna oimer ma'od ma'od havishval ruach shetikvas eno yishrima. A person should be very, very low. Shval ruach, the opposite of arrogance. Rabbeinu explains that al derech the Rambam, the shvil hazav, the golden mean. When it comes to almost all the midas that a person has, the character traits, you always want to take the shvil hazav. You want to take the middle road. You don't want to be an achzari. You want to be cruel. You want to have rachmanas on people. If you have too much rachmanas, you have rachmanas on a rasha, that's called achzaris. Having rachmanas on a rasha. Pinchas, he would have rachmanas, and Zimri and Cosby, that would have been vicious. So he did the biggest act of shalom by killing them. So a person has to have a shvil hazav, has to be balanced in all his midas. Unless the Rambam says, unless he sees that he is paritz in a certain midah, to uproot that temporarily, you have to go to the other extreme, but eventually to come back to the middle. There are some exceptions. One is gaiva. Gaiva, zok the Mishnah in Perkei, Avos ma'od ma'od havishval ruach. Now when we speak, we say, he's a really, really, really great guy. We always speak in like exaggerations. The Mishnah, how many times the Mishnayos say, ma'od ma'od, to emphasize, be very, very shval ruach. How many of the Mishnayos do we have? Chazal speak like that. It's not like an exaggeration. They're not trying to like, he's really, really, really great. He's not, that's not what the Mishnah's doing. So Elamai Mishnah is telling us, the halacha is, you have to be ma'od ma'od shval ruach, very, very low. That's what the Rabbeinu says. He brings a machloikis in the Gemara and Soita whether this is true. So machloikis they have to be very, very low. Go to the extreme when it comes to shiftless, or take the middle approach. And he passes at the end. The chein halacha, a person has to be ma'od ma'od shval ruach, like our Mishnah in Perkei. So gaiva is one of those midas that he says roiv averos like the Rabbeinu Yonah. The majority of averos come from gaiva.
What would be the middle ground for gaiva?
The person has, he has a sense of self.
Isn't that, in a sense, can't you take some, isn't there some milah of being, not feeling too low where you're not going to...
So low doesn't mean, this is no shaykhs to depression. Right? It's not like, I'm a nothing, I'm a gornish, I can't do anything. Gaiva is when a person feels, it's a koich it's miyadi, meaning, in other words, overdoing is what a Kadosh Baruch Hu hopefully expects of us and probably falling a little bit short. Right? So, Pshan is that it's not a steer to godless sa'adim. It's not a steer to realizing a person's koiches. But it's not, a person can't take credit for his accomplishments. He can thank Hashem that Hashem gave him the ability to do that. So if I give you $1,000 and say, give out $100, right? That's not hard to do because you're making $900. I just gave you $1,000. I said, I'm going to ask you to give, when a person's a hard time giving meiser geld, there's a bechina of gaiv there. I mean, it's my money that I made, so it's hard for me to give it. So a ma'od shval ruach will say it's all matana from Hashem. And the Chovos Levavos and Shar B'Tachon, it always stresses this. It's a very difficult balance. On the one hand, I have to do hishtadlus, but then realize that whatever I did, nothing is because of me. It's all because of Hashem. A person that has that level of bitachon, he's not going to be a bal guy. He's not going to walk in and expect anything from anyone. So, but he can still realize that he himself has koyches. I have koyches Hashem gave me, but whatever I'm able to do, I thank Hashem for letting me do. Whatever I'm able to attain, it's only with the help of Hashem. So a person can take he can take pleasure in his accomplishments, but when he realizes it's only Hashem that lets him do it, he's not going to have that arrogance which he attributes to himself his success. That's what Gaiva is, as opposed to attributing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the din. Ma'od ma'od havishvalach.